listening to the Fun with Horror podcast with your hosts, Scotty and Andrew.
Hello, beautiful, amazing, wonderful horror fans. This is episode 71 of Fun with Horror, the weekly horror movie review podcast in which my best friend in the world, who I'm looking at right now, Scotty. What? We'll have to tell everyone how we're doing this. But Scotty and I, we take turns giving each other horror movies to watch, and then we discuss them the following week. We have two rules here at Fun with Horror. The first, we have to pick a movie we've never seen. Rule number two, we both have to watch it. Something fell in my kitchen. Last pick was me, and I chose Terrifier, which was directed by Damien Leone and starring Leone. Gosh dang it, I even have that.
You wrote it down.
Gosh, it's like I'm dumb or something. It's because I'm nervous you're watching me, and it's nerve-wracking.
I know.
You're piercing blue eyes.
I'm touching myself.
Thank you. God. Oh my gosh. Anyway, this movie stars Jenna Kanell. I'm not looking at you. Samantha Scaffidi and David Howard Thornton. And of course, please remember to listen. Shush. Listen to the end of this episode because we are going to hear Scotty's pick for next week's movie. Also, before we jump into saying hi to Scotty, would you take a moment, jump over to Apple, jump over to Spotify, wherever you listen to our podcast, and leave us a nice review and maybe even one of those 5-star ratings. Because I'm going to read you one that we just got recently from Ari81. Yeah, this is very sweet. Here's the review. It says, I recently found this podcast and I binged every episode, so I'm already all caught up. The hosts, Andrew and Scotty, have a wonderful wonderful friendship that can be felt through the airwaves. As someone who likes everything about horror and horror movies, but is too much of a scaredy cat to watch them all, I love to listen to this podcast for enjoyable reviews that spoil the whole movie with ample warning, without having to suffer any FOMO. I especially love the Serbian film episode, Wink, Wink. I would definitely recommend this podcast, and I look forward to a new episode every week. Thank you, Ari. That is both Scotty and I read that the other day. We were at work and we each read it, and it really did make us feel very good. So thank you for the kind words.
Thank you so much. It's very nice. Andrew, why are you so nervous today?
Because you're watching me. We change things up, man. It's different when because usually we just do audio, like we're talking through the computer, but now we are seeing each other via webcams.
We were using a website. We're not going to name it, but we were using a website where you can record audio remotely. Yes. And we were having some issues. We were having to edit things because there was lag. Mm-hmm. And it was starting to become noticeable, and it actually created you and I talking over each other.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
So we finally got with the times. We figured it's 2022. We're going to do what all the cool people do.
That's right.
And we're going to use Zoom. So we're using Zoom, and we can see each other finally.
Yay.
Which it's unbelievable that we haven't done that until
I know.
Now.
Over a year. Yeah. Plenty over a year to try this, and we didn't do it.
And I finally know what you look like. This is amazing.
Right? I did not think this is who you would look like, but I mean, I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yes.
So yeah.
Except you are wearing more clothes than I pictured.
Vice versa, my friend. Vice versa.
So hey, speaking of listeners, real quick, since we're thanking our listeners.
Well, I thought you were gonna say speaking of no clothes.
No, buddy. No.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
We did okay. So Spotify Wrapped they do their end of the year thing? So yes. Cute.
Yeah,
and they do it for podcasters so that you can see how many people have been listening.
It's awesome.
So I've got some here. I've got some of our pages saved, and it was really cool. And keep in mind now, buddy,
wait on me,
that more people listen to us on Apple than they listen to us on Spotify. So these are only the Spotify stats.
Let's hear it, man. I'm excited.
But we've created 3,186 minutes of new content. But that's not the cool part. The cool part is that that's more than 94% of other creators in the TV and film category.
Yeah, dude. That's awesome. That's a lot.
We've created the top 6% of minutes, I guess.
Yes.
Is my math correct, buddy?
Yeah, give or take. Sure.
We are in the top 20% most followed podcasts.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
23% to be exact.
Sweet.
This was a really cool one, buddy. And I'll make a joke about it afterwards.
Okay.
we gained over the last year 600% more listeners.
Oh my god.
Which means we now have 6 people listening to us.
There we go. There it is. Yeah.
But here's the cool part. Here's the cool thing. It also tells you whether we are a top 10 podcast for people or whatever.
That's cool.
We buddy, Fun with Horror.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
We are the #1 podcast for 5 different people.
That's so cool.
I mean, when I say it out loud, it doesn't sound that great.
No, that's cool. Like 5 people were their #1. That's awesome. That's an honor.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes, I think that's wonderful.
Oh. And I do have 5 accounts on Spotify though. So we'll see.
We'll see, buddy. Well, hey, we should I think we should get to our movie.
I think so too. Oh yeah.
What's your favorite ride at a carnival, buddy?
Oh, probably the Terrifier.
What if that guy did this to your car?
What guy? The clown? Do you really think someone slashed my tires?
Well, he knows this is your car. He saw us getting into it earlier.
Hey, handsome! Cut it out. My friend wants your number.
You.
What is it, Tara?
Dawn and I are sort of stranded. She has a flat tire and no spare, and I was kind of hoping you could pick us up.
All right, buddy. So we've got a doozy of a movie to talk about here.
Yeah.
Terrifier. But before we do, let's remind everybody that we are about to spoil Terrifier. Terrifier 1. Let's just be clear on that.
Yes.
Because when I Google Terrifier, I get nothing but Terrifier 2.
Yeah, me too.
Ridiculous. But yeah, so we're gonna spoil Terrifier. We're gonna talk about it quite a bit. So if you haven't seen Terrifier, go watch it, come back. Or if you're one of those people like Ari, who doesn't mind spoilers because you're too much of a scaredy cat to watch the movie, which we understand.
Oh yeah.
Keep listening. Whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
Andrew.
Oh boy.
You've got 3 minutes, buddy.
Oh gosh.
3 minutes to tell us the story of Terrifier.
I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of play time.
Let me get.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm getting my time ready too. All right.
Okay. Go for it whenever you are ready to start.
All right. So the movie starts out with a woman being interviewed. This woman is deformed and has been known as the only survivor of a massacre that happened a year ago. After this interview, the interviewer is making fun of her. The interviewee kills her. We jump to a year in the past. We see Tara and Dawn, 2 friends. They enter a pizzeria on Halloween night. They're dressed up. While they're in there, a man dressed as a clown, Art the Clown, shows up and kind of harasses them a little bit. The pizzeria people kick him out. Anyway, eventually Tara and Dawn leave. They go to their car and see that their tires are slashed. Of course, Tara calls her sister for a ride, but has to pee in the meantime. So sees an abandoned building. A man pops out. He's going to fumigate the whole building. She asks to use the bathroom. She goes in. He lets her. While she's in there, she meets a kind of crazy cat lady who has a doll that she thinks is her baby. At this time as well, Art has entered Dawn's car, and we cut from there. Eventually, Art makes his way into the building and knocks Tara out. Tara wakes up in a chair to to Art holding up Dawn upside down naked and begins to saw her in half, which is quite the scene we will talk about. Eventually, Tara gets out of there. There's a cat and mouse chase. Eventually, though, Art does get her and shoots her many times, killing her. Right after this, Tara's sister, Victoria, shows up. She's looking for her sister and sees her lying on the ground, so she thinks, goes to touch her, and it's actually Art wearing the hair and breasts of the crazy cat lady. Anyway, after that, there's another chase scene where Art is chasing Victoria now throughout this building. Eventually, Mike, the guy that is fumigating the place, stops him. They escape and go to a room. Art, guess what, is not dead, and he kills Mike. Another cat and mouse chase begins, and eventually, Art is in a truck, a pickup truck, hits Victoria, knocks her out, and begins eating her face. At this point, police come because they know that some ruckus is going on, put their guns towards Art. Art actually pulls a gun out and ends his own life, so we think. We jump then to a coroner's office where Art mysteriously wakes up and attacks the coroner. We then jump to a hospital where we see Victoria is actually the woman from the beginning with the deformed face. Cut to credits. There we go.
Wow, dude, that was
How
good.
was that? Okay, all right.
What was it? I
2.5 minutes.
That was
yeah.
great.
Okay, all right.
That was
There's
the whole
some things I
movie.
left out, but I was like, there's the beats.
It's okay, man. Terrifier is not a complicated film.
It's really not. That's why I said there's a chase scene. I'm like that.
It's a chase scene.
There's a chase scene. There you go.
I was nervous because, as usual, you started by setting the scene, the very first scene of the movie, perfectly.
Yep.
We open on
right. It's a gloomy night. The air outside looks musty. Yeah, that's how
minutes
I do
later, and
Yeah.
that's the end of the first scene.
Yeah. Crap.
Okay, so I saw this movie well before we ever started doing this podcast, and
Right.
there was a time I mentioned this movie to you,
Yes.
and I said, I am so curious as to what you would think of this movie, buddy.
Boy, yeah.
And since then, Terrifier 2 has come out.
Mm-hmm.
So we finally got around to doing Terrifier 1.
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes. Yeah.
what did you think of Terrifier 1? Tell us all.
Okay, so I'm going to preface this by saying Art the Clown could be a very could make his place, I guess, in like a one of the big horror movie villains, monsters, whatever you want to say. I would say, however, I'm not a fan of some over the top kind of things, which happens a lot in this movie. And so I will say, all in all, I did like this movie, but I do have some things that I want to talk about that I did not like.
Okay.
But overall, I had fun with it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you have fun.
Yeah. It was, I liked it.
Yeah.
What about
that's
you?
Good. That's good.
Okay. Good.
That's actually that is better than I thought you might say.
Okay. Fair enough. I wondered that, but yeah.
Did you by any chance? Because I told you that if you went back in time on my Letterboxd account, you would see my original review of Terrifier.
I didn't. I wanted.
You did
I
not.
did.
Okay.
I thought about it when I was like, I like the surprise here.
Well, I'm not going to go back and read it, but
Right.
the first time I saw Terrifier,
Mhm.
I remember distinctly that my opinion was that it was a nice kind of a throwback to just a plain non-deep, not very deep slasher.
Totally. Yep.
Art the Clown, like you said, is an amazing, fantastic character.
Mhm.
But after I think the words I used were that after I think the movie blew its load with the hacksaw scene.
Okay. Yeah.
Because after the hacksaw scene, it's like, wow, you've seen the worst
Right. Yeah. You're right.
that Art can do. And the rest is just like, I felt at the time that after that, the movie just kind of kept throwing victims at Art And it's like, oh, how can we get this person here so that Art can kill them?
Right. Yep.
However, when you picked
Ooh.
Terrifier, I
Yeah.
was looking forward to rewatching it
Uh-huh.
to see if I would still feel the same. And you know what? I did not.
Oh, okay.
I enjoyed Terrifier a lot more this time.
Nice. Okay. Awesome.
Knowing that nothing is as brutal as the hacksaw kill in the movie afterwards, I was able to actually just kind of enjoy the second half of the movie more.
Okay. I like that. I get that. Yeah.
And I'll be honest, knowing that this is going to lead to us watching Terrifier 2
What?
also kind of got me excited.
Right. Yeah.
Well, obviously, we're going to watch it at some point.
Right. Yes,
I don't know when.
Week.
Oh my God, dude.
Almost like we're going to record 2 episodes today or something.
That would be nuts.
That would be crazy.
So, okay. What did you tell me some of the things you did not care for?
All right, let me jump into this. So, I'll say, okay, my biggest thing is when it comes to any movie, especially one that has kind of like, well, I guess it's any movie, but especially one that has kind of a lower budget, which this one did, which
yeah,
they did make a good movie with a low budget. I'm like, that's, you know, I mean, it was nice. It was nice.
Before you continue,
okay,
I want to ask you if you know something.
Oh, okay.
Damien Leone.
Mm-hmm.
He directed, he wrote the movie. Did you know that he also did all of the practical makeup special effects?
I did not know that.
I just want you to know that before it. I don't know if that will.
No, I'm saying good things about the
okay,
low
cool.
budget. So yeah, I think, you know, if I was a filmmaker and saw this and was able to, you know, had maybe an option to make something low budget, I'd be enthusiastic after seeing this. I'd be like, wow, they did a good job with a pretty low budget. So I'd be excited if I was a filmmaker, which is great. I think that's awesome. That being said, sometimes I've noticed with some lower budget films that they try and do kind of that factor of, let's make the audience go ew, or let's make them freak out at something, or let's put some icky in there because we want to get that factor, which isn't always necessary. I think if you do it right and you have sometimes less of that, it's just as effective. So for instance, like when Art goes to the bathroom in this one at the pizzeria, and then there's just poop everywhere, I was like, okay, that's dumb. But
Why?
I just
because not that much poop can't come out of a single person.
Well, like, trust me, I've had some spicy food, so I know. But
trust me, I have a new baby.
yes, that's true. No, but I just think like with that, it was just one of those.
Wait. What if you walk into your bathroom someday and Enzo is just written on the wall with poop? You'd be, oh no.
I apologize to the movie Terrifier.
You were right.
You were right. My bad.
I left you something, Daddy.
Oh gosh. Like you need to go.
Anyway, sorry.
No, but I just think anything like that, it's just there to get an effect. So it's like, it's not, that had nothing to do with the story. It's just one of those kind of cheap, like, what can we do to make the audience go, ew? So there was just a lot of like little things like that where I was like, just less is more. If the guy had gone in the bathroom and just went, oh my gosh, and we didn't see it, I think my imagination would have been like, what is in there? Blood, poop, what is it? And I would have been more effective.
Okay, now then let me ask you, if you went into this movie knowing that it was going to be just, that's the point of the movie. That's the point of what Damien does with these movies. He pushes the boundaries. He just goes as over the top as he can.
Right.
If you go into the movie knowing that, would that change your opinion? Or
probably, yeah.
Because then you're like, okay, well, that's the kind of movie it is. I'm not going to get the subtle movie, the leave it to your imagination movie. This movie's not going to leave much to my imagination at all.
You're right. Yeah. And I guess so, but it's still, I get that. And I think I would have been more graceful for that. But
Grateful.
Grateful.
Great.
Maybe that's the word. No, I'm giving
you're
him
always
grace for that. Yeah. No, but I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea necessarily. Sometimes
Okay.
I don't. We've talked about some movies that I know one in particular you like. That was a
Psycho
little over.
Gorman.
That's right. It was just a little over the top for me. So, and so I think one of the other things though is the acting, and I don't like being this guy, but there was just some moments that it wasn't. It took me out of the movie.
Moments.
Yeah.
Moments.
Maybe through a lot of it.
Yeah.
And again, bless them. That's awesome. And but there just was there was just a lot of parts where I was like, okay, I'm not sure I believe this.
Okay. You say moments, but I don't know. It is hard. It's a note I have.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to be as nice as I can about it.
I know, because we appreciate the work that everybody puts in.
Right.
But it is true. The acting is a little stiff throughout the movie.
You go.
You can tell that these are new actors. They're still learning their craft. They're still honing it. It's fine. They did a fine job with the movie. But a lot of times it feels like they're reading their lines instead of saying them.
Right.
But I tell you this, they're really good at acting scared.
Yeah.
And some of the good acting comes from some of the lesser parts, in my opinion, like the pizzeria guys. Those guys were great.
I thought so too. I had that same thought. I was like, these guys are good. But
if we're going to talk about acting, the star of the movie is David Howard Thornton.
And he's great. I don't really have
oh my God.
I don't have any bad notes about him. He plays that part horrifyingly well.
Yeah. I watched an interview with him, and he studied all of the greats like Chaplin and Buster Keaton. And
sure.
Like I thought Jim Carrey, because he's so expressive with his face and everything. Watching this movie over and over again, I kind of fell in love with David's acting.
Yeah.
And not to jump into another movie, but it does get me excited to see The Mean One, which is the horror movie parody take on the Grinch.
Right.
And to see him play the Grinch.
Yeah.
Which will be very cool.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I thought he was fantastic, and I'm now a huge fan of David Howard Thornton.
I would agree. And we have the same birthday, so there's that.
You do?
I do. I have the same birthday as him. Yeah. He's exactly 10 years older than me. Exactly.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks, man.
You won.
You got to count your victories,
Oh man, I just got all sidetracked.
Sorry.
I don't even know what I was going to say next.
Because I gave you a dumb little fact.
I was going to tell you about the history of this movie. That's
okay. All right.
So I don't know how much you know. So when I first watched Terrifier,
yes,
I knew that art started in another movie.
Oh, right. Yes, I did know
There's
that.
a movie called All Hallows Eve. It is a anthology film. Each story in the movie features Art the Clown in a different way.
I didn't know that.
Two of the stories are based on two short films that Damien Leone made previous to that.
Whoa.
And one of those was called Terrifier. And it was about Art the Clown chasing a girl, trying to kill her, whatever, blah, blah.
Right.
I remember I watched All Hallows Eve. It's not great.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Sure.
It's worth watching if you have a chance, just to see the origins of Art, but it's not
Different
his
actor, I think, too, right?
No, I think is it
him?
Oh,
okay,
wait,
maybe.
no, you are absolutely right.
Okay.
You're absolutely right. Thank you. I did not remember that. The stories aren't all that great.
Okay.
The best story is the story that focuses more on Art instead of just featuring him.
Sure.
But it does feature I believe the babysitter is played by the same actress who plays Monica Brown in this movie.
Oh, cool. Oh, okay.
Monica
Right on.
Brown is the interviewer at the
Yep,
beginning
at
of the
the
movie.
Nice.
So, yeah. So tell me, what were your thoughts during the beginning of the movie, Andrew?
Actually, that part kind of scared me, to be honest. It started really creepily where we see, because it was one of those things where my imagination hit first. Because we see, she says something about her, the interviewer to the interviewee saying, like, with this deformation, whatever the word is. And then it kind of cuts to her face, but it fuzzes out like it's a TV and it fuzzes out. And I was like,
Yeah.
in my imagination kind of went, ooh, what is this gonna look like, or what's this gonna be, what kind of makeup, and then they showed her and I thought that was pretty effective. I was like, yikes, that's a bad accident that she had, whatever it was, at
Yeah,
the
yeah.
time.
Katie McGuire, by the way. Katie McGuire plays Monica Brown.
Oh, okay, right on. Good job, Katie.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. But
Everybody did a good job. It's just
right. Art steals the show. We'll just say
yes, that's the nicest way of saying it.
Yeah. But I thought the intro was effective. I thought that was good, and I like that we went back to see how that happened. I didn't quite understand why she attacked I get that everything that the interviewer was saying about, Victoria was not nice.
Yeah.
But then she like kind of mutilates her and kills her, Victoria, to the interviewer. And I was like, that's odd. Well, hopefully this will be answered.
And it kind of is by the end of the movie.
How?
She's gone crazy. This is a year later, man.
Right.
It's a year after the events of the rest of the movie.
Right.
Art terrified. See.
Oh, look at that.
He chased Victoria around and he eventually ate her face.
Right.
So she's been in a hospital, a mental hospital and stuff for like a whole year, and she's just kind of crazy. But here's the thing. Unanswered questions. It does leave a little bit to the imagination because I think Damien wanted to make more movies.
Okay.
And he wanted to answer those questions later.
Okay.
People can't see the look you're
I know
making
they
on
can't,
your face,
but
buddy.
Well, because I know the next movie we're gonna talk about, and I can't say anything yet, but I have thoughts.
But anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. So, also it shows Art preparing himself and getting all the tools ready.
Yep.
And putting it in a bag. Yeah. Did that kind of remind you of Nightmare on Elm Street a little bit?
Yep, totally.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely, cool. It did.
They even thank Wes Craven at the end of the movie.
Do they really?
Yeah, I think it's I forget all of the people. It's like 3 people. Special thanks to Wes Craven, George Romero, and somebody else.
Oh, nice.
John Carpenter, maybe.
Oh, that makes sense.
Or no, maybe it's Toby Hooper. It might be Toby Hooper.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember. But he thanks 3 people, and yeah.
Cool.
So yeah. So then, I guess. So we have that intro.
Mm-hmm.
And then we meet our 2 main girls, Dawn and Tara, who are. It's Halloween night. They're going out, and we see Art the clown pretty early on.
Oh yeah. Right away.
After, like, when they're standing outside their car.
Oh yeah.
And again, like, even though the acting wasn't fantastic, I still liked these characters.
I agree. Yep. I thought Tara was a cool character, and I thought that she was going to be our quote unquote final girl.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Which I do like how the movie kind of turned that around.
Agreed. I did too. Yeah.
Because also, if you go back to the beginning of the movie and they talk about the girl that was mutilated, you kind of think that it's Tara.
You do. Yep.
So, but eventually let's just get to the pizza place because, oh my God, like, what? I could watch that scene over and over again because Art, the way he's sitting in his booth.
Yes.
And David Howard Thornton's facial animations when he's looking, just staring at Tara. it's horrifying, it's scary, but it's also like funny at the
Yeah.
same time.
Well, and then he'll put on a big grin and then
Yeah.
go back to like being serious. And you're just like, oh my gosh, this guy's scary.
And then Dawn comes over to take selfies with him and boops him on the nose. And oh my God. Especially, let me just tell you, buddy, watching this movie the second time
Yeah.
and knowing how homicidal and sadistic Art is, you're just, even the first time, you're just sitting there going, oh, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that to him, of all people.
Bad choice.
Please.
You're making bad choices. Yeah.
So that all happens. Yeah, so then let's get to so Art goes in the bathroom, he poops all over the wall.
Yeah.
But then we get to our first real kill scene.
Yo, man. Yeah. With the pizzeria guys.
Yeah, the pizzeria guys. So what'd you think about that?
They were super gory.
Because this movie is this movie is all about kind of the kills. So
for sure.
I want to talk about those especially. What'd you think about these kills?
They were good. I mean, they were gruesome and quite graphic. A lot of blood. So if you haven't watched this movie and you're listening to this, there is a lot of blood in this movie.
Yeah,
lot.
Like if somebody stuck a little pin needle in somebody's flesh, it would just spurt blood.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And I think if I remember right, doesn't he I think he takes this guy's eyes out. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Let's see. I have it. Well, Steve is the owner, I think. It feels like, of the pizza place. He's killed off camera,
but his looked cool.
Oh my goodness,
that was awesome.
Because Art made a human jack-o'-lantern out of him
out of his head,
little flames in his eyes. Oh.
It looked really that effect was effective. It looked really good.
Absolutely. Damien Leone is very talented. Even if some of the stuff is, and I feel like it's meant to be this way, but some of the kills and effects are over the top on purpose.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
To the point where they feel realistic to a point. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. Which is kind of nice, to be honest, as well, just because it's like, okay, at this point it's like, okay, that's ridiculous, but I'm on board.
It gives you a detachment, I guess. From what's happening. Yeah. And you're reminded this is all a movie.
Yeah, this is all pretend.
This is not real. This is not real. Please, God, this is not real. So Ramon finds Steve's head, and then Art is behind him. Art appears behind him. Yeah. So I wrote all these down, man. So Ramon reaches for the phone. Art chops his hand in half.
That's right.
As he's reaching for the phone.
Yeah.
Then he stabs a knife into his cheek.
Gosh, yeah, dude. Oh my gosh.
And he doesn't poke his eyes out, but he stabs Ramon multiple times in the face.
What it was.
In the face. With a knife.
Yep.
And when he's done, it shows Ramon's mutilated face, and a little piece of his tongue is flapping next to his mouth.
Right. Yes. Oh my gosh.
And I think that's where the movie cuts. You see that.
I forgot about the tongue, dude.
Oh man. So we're gonna, even though we don't curse, we're gonna make these episodes
explicit
because we're describing these kills, man. Oof.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
So Tara and Dawn get back to their car. The tires are slashed. I mean, we've seen Art the clown near the car. I'm automatically thinking it's the clown that did it. It takes Tara and Dawn a little bit too long to think of that.
Agreed. Yeah.
What if he did it? And then Dawn's like, oh no.
Right. That creepy guy? No.
No. That guy with the weird look that was staring at you? No.
The one that saw us leave this car exactly at this spot? No.
And followed us to the pizzeria? No. Couldn't be him.
Gosh, we need to write movies.
Right? It's so easy. So then Tara has to pee really bad. They're waiting for her sister, Victoria,
Yes.
wink, wink, to come pick them up. Tara has to pee really bad, so she sees this guy come out of a building.
Mm-hmm.
And here's something I'm going to give the movie credit for.
Okay.
Tara decides that she's got to pee so bad that she's going to go up to this guy
Right.
and ask if she can use the bathroom inside the building.
Right.
Tara is dressed somewhat sensually for Halloween,
Uh-huh.
like a little skeleton mini dress.
Yeah, something like
Skin.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
she's looking sexy for Halloween. Mike the Exterminator could have been a douchebag character easily.
Oh yeah.
But this is the great thing about this movie is that none of the people in the movie are inherently bad. Excuse me.
No, that's a really good point.
You know, Mike could have easily been like, hey, you can go inside. Yeah.
Right. I'll walk with you.
Damien makes sure that Art is really the only villain in this movie.
I like that. You're right. That's absolutely right.
So Mike is a gentleman. He lets Tara go in. Later on, he doesn't, he tries to protect her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I like that. I thought
too.
about that later, and I was like, yeah, none of the guys, none of the girls, none of the characters in this movie are bad except for Art.
Right. We have one antagonist. One.
Exactly.
I like that.
Art
like that.
is the only force of evil.
Right. I do like that. That's nice. I didn't even
It
think
is
of that,
nice.
dude.
Whether it's realistic or not.
Yeah. Well, in this world, it is.
Yes, and I like that. So he lets her go in. This is where things kind of start, I guess. So
I would say, yeah.
We've got a crazy cat lady. They call it Cat Lady in the credits with a fake baby doll.
Yeah.
But she thinks the baby doll is her real baby.
Yeah, she gets it.
Mike the Exterminator lets Tara go in this really nasty bathroom. Because all bathrooms are nasty in this movie.
Yes, they are.
But then I kind of forget what all happens. She runs into the crazy cat lady. She goes upstairs to leave, and Art. Oh,
wait,
Art. Did Art already? Yeah, Art already grabbed Dawn, right?
Yeah, he goes in the car during that time. But I will say one thing I like too about Tara at this point is she doesn't like freak out at the crazy cat lady. She actually plays it cool. Because the cat lady's like talking about, I gotta pay my rent and I gotta pay, I gotta blah blah blah. And she's like, rather than freak out, Tara's like, I gotta go talk to the landlord, I gotta head upstairs. Like she plays it really cool. And I was like, smart. That was good. That was a good choice. Rather than freak out or rather than cause a scene, she just plays it the right way.
Yeah.
And I like that. I was like, okay, there's a good final girl moment. Like she's not doing a dumb thing. She's being smart in this movie. So I liked that.
I agree. And it goes to the point that no characters in this movie. Art is the only evil in this movie.
Yep.
Not even Tara. Tara could have been a look down upon the homeless lady, but she doesn't.
No.
Cool. Even Mike's friend that shows up later isn't really.
No, he doesn't. He's not. He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine too.
Just there to do his job.
So Dawn's in the car and she's listening to the radio, and I forget what happened. She's talking.
She hears that the pizzeria place had just been attacked. Oh, and two bodies were found, and she's like, "We were just there."
And then she hears it's the whole thing where she hears somebody get into the car, and
kind of cliche.
Yeah. For sure.
Oh, hi, Tara. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, it's not Tara. It's Art the Clown.
Yeah.
So then we go back inside. Tara, this is great. When Tara goes upstairs to leave, and Art is just standing there with the scalpel.
Yeah.
And he's just like you caught me.
Yeah.
I love that shot. That's such a great shot.
He does. He really does have great facial expression, dude. He's fantastic.
And this is about the part of the movie where I decided, or I realized that I was really enjoying Paul Wiley's musical score.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It's very horror movie,
Mm-hmm.
synth, 80s synth, low notes, whatever.
Uh-huh.
But there were like moments where the quiet synth was
Mhm.
so good that I really
Man,
enjoyed it.
I need to listen again. I need to watch it again and listen to that
Yeah.
because I think I was more focused on everything else, I guess.
Well,
at that point,
I'll
but
say the
I-
first time you see the movie, it
Mhm.
doesn't really stand out except for
Sure.
maybe a couple parts, because there's a couple parts that are obviously an homage to like Halloween and stuff, where the score is going like ding, ding,
Yep.
ding, ding,
Yep.
which in itself is an homage to Psycho and so on and so forth.
So on and so forth.
So on and so forth. But yeah, so then we get into what? We get into the one of our first chase scene, our first cat and mouse scene.
Yep.
Tara
Yes.
hiding behind the cars while Art stalks her.
That was fun. That was good. I like that.
But then as Tara's coming around the corner of one car, all of a sudden Art is stabbing her in the leg with a scalpel.
So it's messed up.
Ow.
I know. That looked a little brutal.
Oh, it's so good.
I know.
So yeah, okay. So yeah, that happens, but Tara stabs Art, right?
Yes.
Like I
I'm
think
trying to
he's
remember.
is he choking her or something, and she grabs a scalpel and stabs
think
him,
so.
and she gets away.
Yeah. Yes.
And then she's upstairs, and Mike the Exterminator has on his headphones.
right. Yep.
But now this time they're ear pods. They're
Did he have
like
something on different before?
well, no, because I hate it in movies where somebody's wearing like the 80s headphones
yeah.
where you could hear everything outside of the music. And
Right.
they can't hear like explosions happening in the same room.
Hey, we've talked about that in one of our episodes.
We definitely have. But yeah, so he doesn't hear her, and then Art comes up and grabs Tara,
and he has like a syringe.
yeah, and
Yeah.
he puts her to sleep.
I think kind of a ridiculous size one too.
It's
like
big, it's dirty, it's gross, man.
like a clown syringe. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. So then we get to the bread and butter of this movie, the scene that
Gosh.
everybody talks about.
Woo.
Tara wakes up.
Yeah.
Art is there. He messes with her a little bit. He plays with her. He puts the knife to her throat, or the hacksaw to her throat.
All right.
Like, oh, I'm gonna cut you. Nope. Oh, I'm gonna cut you. But then he uncovers a sheet, and there's Dawn hanging upside down, only panties on.
Right. With her legs, she looks like a Y, like the letter, like capital.
Not a super widespread Y, but
right.
They're spread.
I
a
say
bit.
that because of how he cuts her. When I said at the beginning, he cuts her in half. It's not maybe the way people thought when I said that. It's
well, I'm gonna describe it since you have a wife and baby in the room.
Thank you. Yeah, I was like, how am I gonna say this one?
No, Andrew, describe it in detail right now.
Well, he goes from no.
So Art rips off Dawn's panties. And here's the thing, Art is not a sexual evil.
No.
He never, it's almost like he's ripping the panties off because they're in the way of his mutilation.
Right.
Not because of any sexual intent.
Right. And it does cut too. So we actually just see things rip. You don't see anything.
Well, kind of.
Don't well.
Oh no, when he rips off the panties.
Right. That's what I mean.
You don't see her like naked yet.
Right.
But Art does take the hacksaw,
mm-hmm.
which is quite rusty.
Yeah, dude.
And he starts. Remember, she's upside down.
Yeah.
He starts at her privates, and he starts cutting.
Yes.
And there is one shot from behind, I guess,
mm-hmm.
with the hacksaw kind of going hacking.
Yeah.
But mostly it leaves a good bit to the imagination for a little bit.
Yeah.
Until you see him like he's down
all the way to
around her
like the
stomach,
head.
and
Yeah.
intestines are falling out, and blood is just pouring on her head and body. And man, he gets all the way down to her head.
Yes.
And he's obviously having a little bit of a harder time cutting through her head.
God.
And at this point, Tara is escaping.
Right. Yes. Yeah, she gets
Um,
out. Yeah, she maneuvers, she MacGyvers her way out of that.
One thing I forgot. Before Art starts hacking at Dawn, one thing I really loved is that he looks down at her and he boops her nose back. So
yes, yeah,
I love that he boops her nose before he mutilates her.
right. That it was a callback. That's what we call a callback in the
It's
industry.
a callback.
A callback.
So yeah, so Tara has escaped. So Art never finishes cutting all the way through Dawn.
But very close. We're
Very
talking
close.
like 2 inches left to
Yeah,
cut.
like a skull, maybe.
Yeah.
Or the top of the skull.
Yeah.
I guess the skull is the whole head, right?
Right. But yeah, just the little bit there.
Just the tip.
I was gonna say it, but I was like, no, it's low hanging fruit. No.
Well, so was Dawn. Ooh. No. No.
Oh no.
So yeah, it's Dawn's kill.
Yes.
I don't know about you, buddy, but it is one of the most brutal kills I've ever seen in a horror movie.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely.
And I've seen a Serbian film.
And I have not.
Actually,
or have we?
I am reminiscing right now to something I don't want to reminisce to.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure this a Serbian film. I don't know. This was pretty brutal, even in terms of something like a Serbian film, which has more disturbing qualities to the kills than this one is.
Right.
This one's just flat out killing. Don't want to talk about a Serbian film too much, but a Serbian film is
people should just go listen to our podcast episode about it.
It was released on April 1st of last year.
That's right. Remember that.
Where we talk in detail about a Serbian film.
That's right. On April 1st, people.
Ari really liked that episode.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. So anyway, yeah. So then we get into another cat and mouse with Tara and Art.
Yes.
Tara runs into the cat lady, right?
Yes. Yep.
Like, see, here's the thing about this movie. Like, even after seeing it 2 or 3 times, a lot of this stuff just becomes so a little bit cliche.
Yeah.
So that it's actually hard for me to remember exactly what happened.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Because it's another cat and mouse game. But what I do remember, what did you think, buddy, about Tara almost having the upper hand on Art, but then he just pulls out a gun and shoots her?
Oh, I was not expecting that because, it was, I guess it's been ingrained in our minds that, a slasher villain never carries a gun.
Exactly.
So when he did pull that out, I was like, whoa, that was unexpected. But I kind of I appreciated that it was so unexpected. You know what I mean? Like, it caught me off guard. That's wow. Okay.
Wow, he just shot her. And then in Art fashion, he shoots her multiple times in the face.
Multiple times, yeah.
And we see it.
Yes, yeah, we do see it. I was like, good Lord. Yeah, she died on this one.
God bless you, Damien Leone.
Buddy.
Art goes back and takes a selfie with Dawn.
Yeah, that's right.
Split in half Dawn.
Yes.
And then so then we have all this stuff is starting to go on. Victoria, Tara's sister, is arriving. Mike runs into Mike the Exterminator. I think he's called his buddy. Oh no, he's calling his exterminator friend or something. I can't remember which, but Art finds him and hits him in the head with a hammer.
Right. Yes.
And his exterminator buddy's like, Mike, you there, buddy? You there? Was that good?
That was perfect. I thought it was him.
It was. His exterminator friend is named Will.
Will, thank you.
Victoria arrives. Okay, so we have all this stuff happening, buddy.
Yeah.
And I'm just got to look at my notes because it's hard to keep track of everything.
Well, Art, this time, so he hits him. Art then doesn't he go and like
then we
cat
have the
lady
cat,
like
the
caresses
cat lady.
him and starts.
Yes.
Yeah, that was weird.
It was weird, but I liked it, because it was like the cat lady wondered if there was kindness at all left in Art. Because you're wondering, is Art just going to leave her alone because she's crazy?
Right.
Excuse me, cats. Stop it. Wow. That was cats hissing at each other. My God.
Knock it off, guys.
Knock it off, cats. Ziggy. Something I say quite a bit. Anyway. And then, she's cradling Art, and Art starts sucking his thumb.
Yes.
Oh,
like a little baby.
Victoria is inside the building.
Yes.
She finds Dawn's body hanging upside down, split in half.
Yeah.
But then she goes into the other room and she finds, as you mentioned in our 3-minute recap. Hang on. Sorry. Ziggy, stop.
Knock it off, Ziggy.
Bowie alone, horror cat. All right. Sorry. I'm back. So this was a great scene, actually. So she sees what looks like the cat lady leaned over. Did you know it was Art?
I did.
Away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
But then, she sees the actual cat lady off to the side. Her breasts are cut off.
Yes.
She is scalped.
Yes.
And it gets a little confusing, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
And you can tell me what you thought.
Okay.
Then Art gets up, and he's disguised as the cat lady. He now has no clothes on.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, yes, he's wearing the cat lady's breasts.
Yes. And scalp.
Okay, but here's the thing. It seemed like there was something between his legs. And I couldn't figure out if he had a wig and that's what he was wearing on his head. And he was wearing because he didn't scalp the cat lady's entire head.
Right.
So does he have her patch of hair down below?
Maybe.
I couldn't figure it out. It was a little too dark.
I don't know, dude. Yeah,
but
I don't know.
Victoria runs.
Yeah.
She hides in a cabinet, but Art like walking out.
Oh my gosh, with all her stuff on. Yes.
His walk was awesome.
It was so messed up though too.
It was so messed up.
This is so creepy.
It was like Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs, but worse. Way worse.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So Art does find Victoria hiding in the cabinet, but he's distracted by Will, the exterminator, who's coming to look for Mike.
Yep.
Then Art stabs Will in the head with one knife.
Yeah.
And then takes a second knife and cuts his head off with it.
Yes. And saws it off.
Saws it off, yes.
Yeah, saws it off. Yeah.
He looks at the head, but then he kicks it away. and it hits something off screen that rings a little bit. Ring. And Art looks over and he's like, "What? Ooh." And the next thing we see is Victoria's come out of the cabinet, and there's Art on his tricycle.
Yes, just riding around.
Oh man. Did you like that, buddy?
I did like that. I was like, oh, look at it.
You like killer clowns. You like clowns.
I do like clowns. So yeah, if they're acting like a clown, I'm on board. If you get a little tricycle to ride, more power to you, man.
I would say that Art acts like a clown the entire movie.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
And then he
a murderous clown, but a clown nonetheless.
Sadistic murderous clown. Sadistic. Okay, so then Art comes up behind Victoria at one point. He tries to suffocate her with plastic. And right when you're saying, why doesn't she just cut a hole in the mouth? She actually does.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. But it did take a little long, I felt. I was like, okay.
But, you know, have you ever had a sadistic clown come up behind you and try and suffocate you with plastic?
Twice.
Okay, so let's go back to the first time. Well, you can. We're best friends.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't want to talk about it, though.
I do believe this one.
Okay. All right.
Because I'm just going to say immediately
I guess she's probably
in a panic.
And,
she's in a panic.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll go with that.
Because you gotta calm your mind a tiny bit to realize, oh wait, I can just cut a hole in this.
Right. That's fair. All right. I'll go with that.
But she does, and then she stabs him in the foot with a big rusty nail.
Nice.
And I love that after she does that and runs off, he just like flips her off.
Yeah.
he's like playfully mad.
Yeah.
We find out that Mike is still alive.
Yes.
But then we also find Victoria finds her sister sitting in a chair with little lights wrapped around her with a sign that says circus.
Yes.
Which may be the only message this movie imparts, is that it's all a circus.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We'll go with
message.
It.
Yeah.
Sure.
Big political message there.
There you go. Life is a circus.
Art finds Victoria and he starts. He's got. I wasn't sure what to call the whip.
Oh, it's a cat of 9 tails or something. There's an actual name for it.
In the olden times, in the times of Jesus,
yes,
they called it a scourge.
Oh, I didn't know it was called a scourge. So when I looked up this movie, 9 tails weapon. I'm cat 9 tails weapon is what it's called, and it's it's exactly that. There's it's a whip with little metal pieces on there to rip the flesh.
Yes.
So it's a cat 9 tails is what I found.
That's good. Damien Leone calls it a flagellum.
Oh, okay.
Because I guess you flagellate people.
Okay.
Flagellum. Okay. Well, we're gonna call it the cat of 9 tails. I like that since my cats are going crazy right now.
Yeah, perfect.
They already knocked Chucky over. So yeah, he starts whipping Victoria with the cat of 9 tails. And according to Damien Leone, the cat of 9 tails is made up of the braids of Art's victims.
Yikes.
I don't know. Mike saves her by knocking Art the F out.
Yeah.
So then they go in this room, Mike and Victoria. Mike calls the police. The 911 operator says, stay put.
Yeah.
Do you think they should have stayed put? Because they don't.
Yeah, they should have. Yeah.
Mike's like, no, we're getting the hell out of here, lady.
Yeah. It's like, well, he's out there though. Just lock the door, and at least you have an advantage. He has one spot that he can come in.
But no, they don't stay put.
No.
They end up in a hallway. Art knocks Mike down. Like Art comes out of a doorway.
Yes.
In a really awesome moment. He knocks Mike down on the floor and kicks him in the head a few times and then stomps his head, just caving his entire head in.
Yeah. Yeah. No, doesn't he? Oh, yeah, you're right. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's enough. He tries to grab Victoria, but this is where she stabs him in the eye. So Art now has one eye.
Mm-hmm.
Then things move. Victoria goes outside, but then she goes back inside for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
And the door is chained shut, but she slides through the crack in the door. Sorry, I'm just making sure my cat's not eating Chucky. And then Art, she looks outside, and Art is in a truck playing some crazy circus like kind of music, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then Art drives the truck through the door, and Victoria pulls a Prometheus and does not run to the side.
No.
She just runs straight. Art actually hits her with the truck, and she is knocked unconscious, it seems, with blood coming out of her mouth.
Yeah.
The police come. They find Art eating her face.
Yes.
Ooh.
That was dark. Dark. And
And
gross.
one of the policemen a little bit later makes a point to say that she's still alive.
Yes.
But yeah, as you said, Art shoots himself. He puts a gun in his own mouth because the police have him cornered, and he shoots himself through the head.
Yes.
Victoria's still alive. And then we go to the morgue.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of this scene?
That was kind of weird, but hey, we'll go with it. I mean, you know, everyone like I don't know, the lights flicker, things like that, and then Art pops up, you know, from the body bag, and I think it cuts from there though, because we don't see him.
Yeah, he starts choking the.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep.
Corner.
Yep. And I was like, well, what? Is he like a demon? Is he possessed? Is he like what? I don't know. Just an unanswered question.
Just go with it, buddy. Just go with it.
Yeah. You just have.
He was resurrected.
There we go.
And then the final scene. We have a final scene in which we find out it's revealed that the woman in the beginning of the movie was Victoria, as if we haven't figured it out by now.
Correct.
And that's the end of the movie. Like, that's Terrifier.
That is Terrifier. It's terrifying.
Even describing it, I remember how I felt the first time I watched it.
Yeah.
Like that, just how everything just kind of blurs together after the hacksaw scene.
Yep. No, it's totally true. Yep.
So
I agree.
I give this movie. No, I'm kidding. We don't do that. Let's see. Do you have any other notes, buddy?
Those are mine, dude. Yeah.
I'm just looking. I'm looking as I click my mouth. Yeah, I think that's all I have too. You ready for 3 questions?
Let's do 3 questions.
Who would cross the bridge of death must answer me these questions 3.
Okay. Question number 1, my friend.
Yeah.
What did you think was the best kill or death in Terrifier?
I think there's one that stands out.
Yeah.
Of course it's Don. Yeah, of course.
the hacksaw.
Upside down hacksaw scene. Yeah.
It's like beats most any movie.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2.
Yeah, that's tough.
Did you find Terrifier scary?
I would say no. I found it more disturbing. Would be the word I would
okay.
use for it. It's disturbing. I don't know if I didn't lose sleep. I wasn't frightened, but I was like, I feel a little gross. What about you?
You know, I'd say not at all.
Okay.
I could see somebody else finding it disturbing or scary.
Right.
But for me, it was a little over the top, which I don't mind like you do.
Right.
But to me, that takes away any fear.
Fair. Yeah.
It's more like, wow, this is a special effects extravaganza.
Fair. Yeah.
Like, they did all this stuff. This is amazing.
Right.
You know, what is going to come out of Leone's imagination now?
Right. Yes.
And number 3, my friend.
Yes.
Andrew, did you have fun with horror?
Overall, yeah, I would say I had fun with horror with this one.
Yeah.
You too.
Oh, of course. This movie has we've got our critiques of Terrifier.
Right.
But
yes,
if nothing else, it's a fun movie to watch.
It is. It's a bunch of anarchy. It's crazy. But yeah, I'd say it's worth watching.
And I would say that, you know, I mean, I wish we could watch all of our movies together, but I really wish I could have sat with you and watched Terrifier with you.
This would have been a blast, dude. Watching with you would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Dang it.
All right, Terrifier.
Terrifier.
Art the Clown.
Art the Clown. Hey.
All right. Good job, buddy.
You too.
Now, what about your attacker? The man identified only as Art the Clown. There's a lot of controversy surrounding his supposed death. The authorities issued a statement claiming that his body disappeared from the county coroner's office the morning after the attack. He's dead. I saw it happen.
Well, buddy, that's Terrifier. That was quite a circus, if you will. I don't know. Anyway, what are you picking for our next movie, man? What are people excited for?
Well,
watching?
buddy, we did Terrifier for one main reason,
Ooh, what's that?
so that we could get to Terrifier 2. So that is my pick for our next movie, buddy. Also
Awesome.
directed by Damien Leone.
Oh.
Also starring David Howard Thornton as Art the Clown.
Oh, I've heard of
But
him.
also starring Lauren Lavera as a character named Sienna.
Mm-hmm.
So this movie was very talked about this year.
Yes. Yeah.
Evidently, so people supposedly threw up in movie theaters.
Yeah. Passed out, I think. And
Passed out, walked out,
Yeah.
died, had heart attacks,
Oh, jeez.
mutilated their children after watching this movie.
You know. Typical movie.
Yeah, I mean, all of this happened after I watched The Little Mermaid, so I don't know what the big deal is.
You can't hang out with my kid.
When do I get to babysit?
Oh, never. These are jokes, people. Scotty has the biggest heart of anyone I know. So I love this boy. I
And
love
no
this
children. And no children. Just cats.
Just cats. Those are your kids. Those are your babies.
Yeah. What were we talking about anyway? Yeah. So also this movie's long.
It
This
is
movie's
long.
like 2 hours and like what, 20 minutes?
Yeah, that's what it looked like. Yeah. It's a long movie. For a horror movie, especially.
2 hours and 18 minutes. Yeah. If you have not seen Terrifier 2, unfortunately, at the moment, it is only streaming on Screambox.
Right. Interesting.
So I believe both Terrifier and Terrifier 2 are streaming on Screambox.
Nice.
Which is the other horror streaming network.
Right.
Of
the
two. Otherwise you can rent or purchase it.
Yep.
So yeah, so that's the end of this episode, buddy. That's it.
Oh man. So we're staying in this universe, my friend. Terrifier 2 next week.
I like it when we do this.
I do too. It's fun.
We've only done it once, right?
Yeah.
With the Candyman series.
That's right.
But unlike Candyman, we only have 2 movies this time.
I know this one's much faster to do.
Unless Damien Leone releases Terrifier 3 in the next week.
He might. I don't know. We'll see.
And then we both have to go to a theater.
Yep.
Throw up.
And pass out.
Yes. And mutilate children afterwards.
There you go.
All right. Well, bye.
Bye.
No.
Oh,
I can't end it like that. I love you, buddy.
I love you too, man. This was a blast, as always.
We love all of you out there. Thank you for listening.
Yes, it
you
really
for
does
everything.
warm our hearts to see, like, honestly, even jumping on Facebook and just seeing people post things or seeing new members. Like, it's awesome. It really is awesome. We love it and appreciate it.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It's been fun.
It has been fun. It's been really cool.
All right. Well, good luck, buddy. With Terrifier
Thanks.
2.
You too. I hope to see you here next time.
Yeah. So until next time, now let's say it.
Bye.
Bye.
Is there kindness in you? Somewhere in your heart. Have you ever felt a mother's touch? Can you show no mercy?